Jim, toast to the lasses.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honoured yet again to be asked to do the Toast to the Lasses on this very special Burns homecoming occasion. Kind of shows you what the memory of the committee is like, because obviously I can't remember how bad it was last year. Before I tend to wind up the lasses, obviously it's approaching 9 o'clock and there's a wee watershed here, so I'm going to be after 9 o'clock. But I've got some tasks to attend to. Firstly, I've got apologies to read first. Sadly, I've got an apology for Jim Robertson. Spiritually, he can't be here tonight, so he sent his cell instead. Jim, I beat you, son. Oh. Surgeon Shona Martin sadly can't be here tonight. She was due to speak about the life and times of the medical history of Burns, but unfortunately en route here tonight she got stopped at the caravan park up there where she's performing in a medical operation. Seemingly she's trying to remove a dodgy cartilage. And my lawyers are, use the phone number, it's 041. I've got an apology to make on behalf of Jerry McGinty. Seemingly he was due to address the haggis tonight and Jim stepped in the last minute. We just realised that he's still got 3 months to run in a court order banning him from coming in contact with sharp instruments. You know, one of the things that amazed me about Arlington, and I can be faulted on it, but one of the things that amazed me when I come here about the amount of men that were odd job men that suddenly came to the surface in this area. Eddie Greenhalgh, I'll take Eddie for a wee example. Eddie in front of the chap sitting there in the middle there, he's trying to hide his wife's covering her eyes at the moment. Eddie told me, he said, Mike, how would you like a utility room in the house? He said, Eddie, I would love a utility room. And that space, kitchen, months of tiling, and jigging the electricity, and putting heaters in and all the rest of it. It's finished, Mike. Oh, that's great. You put a motorbike in it. And it's funny about people who do it-yourself jobs. You notice they kind of climb together. Opposite him is Dave Sweeney sitting there. You notice that Dave's another guy. Davey puts do-it-yourself into another bracket. I would say we call do-it-yourself freak. Right? Every time you go and ask about this, somebody says, date yourself. But it's Dave, and he gave me permission to talk about this tonight after a couple of halves. Maybe he's not aware of it now, but Dave came in the other week and said, you know, I've got a problem, John. I said, what's the problem? He says, Rona came to this young lady sitting beside him there. She said, I think we need to go and see a marriage counsellor. Why? She says, when we first met, you used to sit beside me on the couch and you used to blow in my ear and run your fingers through my hair and then put your tongue in my ear and massage my back, and then we used to make love for hours. And Dave goes, ah. He says, you don't do it now. So we'll let you go and see a counsellor. So they agreed. So an appointment was made. And off they went to the counsellor in Dunoon. The counsellor sat them down and said, what's the problem? And so the counsellor, Rona, got up and said what the problem was about the lack of affection, the lack of come and go between the two of them. So I edited that a bit. Did you notice that? I edited that bit. But anyway, the counsellor walked over and took Rona by the hand and took her over to his seat and sat her down. And he started running his fingers through her hair. And Dave was sitting there. And then he started putting his fingers in her ear and blowing in her ear. She kind of responded a wee bit to him. And then the next thing, he massaged her back. And the next thing, before Dave knew what was happening, Rona and this counsellor were making love on this couch. So after a wee while, they put the clothes back on. The counsellor brought her over, put her back down in the seat. And he sat down and he says, Dave, your wife requires that at least 3 times a week. What do you think? Dave was, well, I can bring her down on Monday. a Friday, right? One of the things I always remember about when I was learning about burns and talking to people who's obviously avid, like Jim and Dave, you're talking about burns people, they're fanatic people. But one of the always things I remember about is you always remember things about burns like, you know, like he was a philanderer, he was a drinker, he was a drunkard, when really he wasn't. He just populated the hill of Ayrshire himself. But the one person we really don't know a lot about was Jean Armour. And unknown to a lot of people, Jean Armour wrote a lot, and she sent a lot of letters out, sorry. And one of the letters she sent out, she sent to a Mary Menzies. Sorry, Dougie, it's not the same lassie. He sent a letter out to Mary Menzies telling her about, on Robert's first visit to Edinburgh, he returned to Edinburgh after publishing a book, he brought her a silk scarf, which was quite a rare item in them days. And off a night, he had taken to tying her hands to the bed and tickling her with a peacock's feather to her delight. And I thought, it set to me to wonder a wee bit, and I thought, in rural areas is women similar to the Ayrshire women then? And how could I go about finding out? So I thought the only one group of women I know in Ardentiny would be the Halls Committee women. Don't hide, Babs, stay with that. And I thought if I'd done a wee survey and approached them and said, how would you feel, even in them days going back to Robert Burns and Jean Armour, where the light-hearted bondage seemed to be cause for the day, how would that have fared in your day? So I sent them a wee survey, and here's the replies. The names have not been changed to protect the They've not been changed to protect the guilty. On the subject of bondage, was Letty. Don't hide Letty now. Letty said, bondage is as popular now in the village as it was in the late 50s when I was a young thing. And I thought about that. I said, wait a minute, what's going on in this place? And Aileen said, I tried bondage but didn't like it. The men kept on tying and also running out the door. I've already ate the haggis, you can't. Babs, who's sitting up the top there, and I spoke to her about it, and I said, what do you think about bondage? You're going back to them, and she says, Jimmy, she says, I was so popular as a young thing that I was tied to more beds than David Blunkett's Doug. And I thought that in one of Jean's letters to Mary Menzies, she mentioned that was fond of her changing her clothing at night and putting on more attractive clothing. Because going back to the end days, I don't know what she was talking about. But so I said to Aileen about sexy underwear, and she said, I used to wear stockings and suspenders as a lassie. She says, but we didn't call them that, Jim. I said, well, what did you call them? She says, we called them jump leads. I said, jump leads? She says, aye, well, if they didn't get started, nothing would. I spoke to Letty about sex underwear and stockings and suspenders, and Letty replied, Jimmy, I wore them all the time. I remember the belt that come down for the corset had a wee rubber bit in it. See if it broke off, you could put a thrump me a bit in and had your stockings on. She said, I remember getting off the bus with the noon at the dancing one day, my mother was waiting on me, and as I got off the bus, the stockings fell down. She went, what's that? I said, well, I need a tanner for the bus. I spoke to Eddie's wife, Margaret. She's sitting there, and I said to her, she says to me, Jimmy, I'm glad that lassies nowadays follow this safe sex routine. She says, it was only the other day I got Eddie to put a handrail round about the bed. I'm sure I'm going to get murdered later on. I've got witnesses. But joking aside, gentlemen, I'm sure that we know how blessed we are when we look around ourselves tonight and see that we're graced by fairness and beauty and abundance. And to that, we're eternally grateful. Gentlemen, I request that you charge your glasses and be upstanding to toast the lasses. Gentlemen, the lasses.
The lasses.